When we look at the peripheral nervous system, we have afferent and efferent divisions. Now, afferent divisions, sensory afferent, picking up information from the environment. And it's going, afferent is going towards the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord. And when it gets closer, when the messages get closer to the central nervous system, closer to the cord, it's going to enter on the dorsal side through the dorsal roots. Sensory comes in dorsal, motor comes out the front. So, and that's why I have it set up going towards the back side. So sensory afferent division, we have somatic sensory, which is picking up information from the skin, the muscles, the bones, and the joints. And then we have visceral sensory. When you think viscera, think organs, picking up information from the heart, the lungs, the stomach, and the urinary bladder. And again, it's going to be carried, the messages are carried to the central nervous system. You have the brain and the spinal cord. And it's going to enter, when it gets closer, it's going to enter through the dorsal roots on the back side. And then it's going to be relayed through the thalamus. Remember, the thalamus is the relay for all the information that goes to the brain, except for smell, olfaction. And this is representing the central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord. Now, once the message is processed and the action that's going to occur, that is the motor efferent division. And think exit, exiting the central nervous system. And we get to keep the same terms here. So somatic motor messages are going to skeletal muscles and to reflexes. Visceral motor are going to cause actions in glands, and I'm showing you the thyroid gland, particularly the posterior aspect, because you see here the parathyroid glands, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Remember, smooth muscle is not striated and it's uninucleate. Let's take a look at the notes. So somatic sensory afferent information is coming from the skin, the muscles, the bones, and the joints. Visceral sensory afferent information is coming from the heart. Remember, think viscera. When you hear viscera, think organs. Coming from the heart, the lungs, the stomach, and the urinary bladder. And it's entering the dorsal side of the spinal cord, relayed through the thalamus to get to the brain. Actions from the central nervous system are going to be motor efferent pathways, exit, exiting the spinal cord, coming out the ventral or front side. Somatic motor is carrying messages to skeletal muscle and to reflexes. Visceral motor is going to cause actions in glands, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Are you ready to do it without the notes? Sensory afferent division, somatic sensory afferent information is coming from the skin, the muscles, the bones, and the joints. Visceral sensory afferent information is coming from the heart, the lungs, the stomach, and the urinary bladder. Getting closer to the cord, it's going to enter through the dorsal side into the dorsal roots, relay through the thalamus to the brain. Messages are going to be sent out the ventral side to cause actions. Now it's going to follow motor efferent pathways. Exit, exiting the central nervous system. Somatic motor is going to cause actions in skeletal muscles and reflexes. Visceral motor is going to cause actions in glands, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Thank you for joining me today.